All right, guys, so you're gonna do this assignment about circle equation. So the standard equation of a circle is gonna be x minus h plus y minus k, and then you have a squared here, and then equals radius squared. So hk, that's the center. So this is the center of the circle, and the r is the radius. Okay, so let's do a problem with that. So we move down here, example 1. It says write the standard equation for a circle with a center of 1, -2, and a radius of 5.5. Well, let's write the equation so we kind of have a format here. So my standard form equation is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals the radius squared. Okay, and I know that my first part, sorry, it's shaded. My first part of my center is going to be my h, and the second part of my center is going to be my k. And then the radius they gave us was 5.5. So those are the three numbers that I'm going to need. I'm going to need the 1, the -2, and the 5.5 to plug in here. So I'm going to start with this, so x minus, and the h, we said that that's the first part of the center, which is 1. So it's going to be 1 here. And then you're going to put y minus k, and k is that second part of the center, which is -2. So we're going to put here -2. You can't just get away with not putting it, right? So it's minus is part of the equation, but since this is -2, you're still going to put -2 there. And then you got your radius. We know that that's 5.5, so we're going to put that in. Okay, so now let's simplify this down. If we need to adjust anything, we're going to adjust it. So this is just going to stay the same. I don't need to change anything here. If you have a minus negative, we're going to change that to plus. Okay, so you should have learned that before, that if you have a minus negative, that's really addition. And then the 5.5 squared, we can put that in the calculator and get that as a number. So 5.5 squared is going to be 30.25. So put here 30.25, and then that's it right there. That's your equation, your standard equation for this circle. All right, so I want you guys to try to do this one on your own. And then just pause it and then come back and see what it is. So just pause it right here, try it on your own, and you can come back and check and see if this is correct. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do this. So the standard equation for a circle with a center of 4, 5, and a radius of 3. The 4 is your h, the 5 is your k, and the radius, they said, is 3, right? So the radius is 3. So let's go ahead and write this. So we're going to start off with our equation format. Until we get used to that, I would encourage you to write it out so that you don't mess anything up. So like we said before, the h is the first part of that center. So if I'm going to write this, it's going to be x minus 4 squared plus, and then we're going to put the y minus, and then the k is the 5, and then my radius is the 3. So that's what that should look like. So nothing needs to change here because this just looks great. We don't have any minus negatives here, but we do need to change that to the answer to 3 squared. So we're going to put here x minus 4 squared plus y minus 5 squared. And then here we're going to put 9 because 3 squared is 9. If you don't remember that, you can just easily put that in your calculator. So that's your answer for that one. All right, so let's go to the next page. Okay, so here it says find the standard equation of a circle when you have the center and another point on the circle. So if you have the center at another point, you can use distance formula. To find the radius, right? Because remember, if you have a circle, the distance from the center to a point on the circle is going to be the radius, right? So that makes sense. Remember the distance formula is x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1, and then make sure you put a squared there also. I forgot to put that. Okay, and then once you have the radius, you're just going to use the center that they gave you already to find the equation. All right, so let's do an example with this. So let's say you have this problem that says the point -5, 6 is on a circle and the center is -1, 3. Write the standard equation of the circle. Okay, so like we said before, our first step is to find the radius. Okay, so that's going to be using the distance formula. We're going to put here square root of, and it's going to be, I'm going to just go ahead and put the formula x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. I'm just going to go ahead and label these as well. So this is going to be my x1, my y1. It's going to be my x2, my y2. Okay, so I'm going to use those labels when I'm plugging this in. So let's look at this. Okay, so I'm going to do this. I put this in x2. Let's look at where my x2 is. It's -1, so I'm going to put -1. Minus x1. Let's see what my x1 was. That's -5. So notice again, I didn't not put the negative. I put minus -5. And then we've got y2 is our next thing. y2 is my 3 minus y1. My y1 is my 6. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and put that in the calculator. Not the radical yet. We're just going to put the stuff under the radical first, okay? So we're going to put parentheses. We're going to put -1 minus -5, close parentheses, squared, plus 3 minus 6, close parentheses, squared. So that gives me 25. So I'm going to put under my radical, or square root of 25. Okay, and if you know what that is, you know that's 5, but if you don't know, that's okay. You're going to go to second, which is the blue button, and then you hit this right here, this button. And that is the square root button. You're going to put 25, hit enter, and it gives you 5. So my distance here is 5, which is actually, again, the distance from the center to a point on the circle is your radius. So I really found my radius. Okay, so now with that, I'm going to get my equation for my circle. So I have my radius, and it is 5. I know what my center is. They gave that to me in the problem. That's -1, 3. So this is actually going to be my h. This will be my k. So now I'm just going to do my equation. So remember that the equation is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals radius squared. So when I write this, I'm going to put x. My h is -1. So I'm going to put minus -1. Put y, and then the next thing is my k. My k is 3, so minus 3. And then my radius, that's going to be 5, so I'm going to put 5. So it'll be 5 squared. Okay, so now let's simplify everything down, change things if I need to. So minus a negative, that's going to change to a plus. And then this will this won't change, this will stay the same. And then 5 squared, if you didn't know what that was, you could put that in the calculator. 5 squared, but 5 squared is going to be 25, so that will be your answer on that one. And there you go. All right, so that was your example. So I want you guys to go ahead and try number 4. Don't worry about this stuff. I thought they were gonna have some questions for you about this, but that's probably gonna be another day, so don't worry about that. This is your problem that I want you to do on your own. So I'm gonna give you like a minute or two, pause the video, and then work that on your own, and then come back and check. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this. There's not a lot of room here, so I'm going to start up here. So my first thing, if we read this, it says the point 36 is on a circle with the center 7, 9. Write the standard equation of the circle. Same thing here. We're going to get the distance by doing the distance formula for our radius, and then we'll get the equation just like we did on the previous example. So our first step, like I said, is to find the radius. Oh my goodness, find radius. Okay, so remember that's distance formula, which is going to be square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. So we just need to plug this in. So first I'm going to label this x1, y1, x2, y2, and then I just plug this in. So my first thing is x2. x2 is 7. So I'm going to put 7 minus x1, which is the 3, plus y2 minus y1. So my y2 is 9, my y1 is 6, so 9 minus 6 squared. And then I'm going to put that in the calculator, just the stuff under the radical for now. Okay, so I'm going to put in square root of 7 minus 3 squared plus 9 minus 6 squared. Hit enter, that gives you 25. So this is exactly like the other one. So square root of 25 is going to give us 5. So my radius is 5. Okay, so we found the radius. So now we need to go down here, and I'm going to plug it in the standard equation. Okay, so remember that my radius is what I need, and then my center as well. So my center is given here at 7, 9. Remember, this is my H, this is my K. Sorry if my hand puts a shadow on there, but I don't know what else to do here. So, okay, we've got the equation format, which is going to be x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals radius squared. So I would just plug in my numbers. So I've got x minus h is 7. And then y minus k, my k is 9. And then radius squared, which my radius is 5. Okay, so now I just need to simplify this down. So nothing needs to change here. I don't have any minus negatives, so this is just going to stay x minus 7 squared plus y minus 9 squared. And then the only thing that will change is this 5 squared is going to change to 25. And then that's your answer. That's what you should have gotten for number 4. All right, thanks, guys. I hope you do well on your assignment. It should be in your folder. It's a page from the book, and you're doing, it should say 10.7 on it, I believe, 10.7, I think. And you're doing number 2 through 14 even, 24, 26, and 35 through 40 all. Okay, so hope you have a good day, and I'll see you later. Bye.